What about you, whiskey lovers, and welcome to another episode of Whiskey Straight with me, Big Al. Thanks for tuning in. It's great to have the pleasure of your company today when I'm going to be looking at the Arran 10 and asking the specific question, is this a top 10 10-year-old whiskey? We'll get into that shortly, but first of all, a wee bit about the whiskey. This bottle of 46% ABV. It's natural coloured, it's non-chill filtered, all the things we like, and it has been matured in a mix of bourbon casks and a small portion of refill sherry casks. Now, it'll normally cost you in the range of 40 quid mark, but there are bargains out there to be had. But when I saw this in the shop, I opted to pay a few quid more, just about 3 quid more, so I could get this lovely gift pack, because there was a couple of glasses in it, and if you know me, you know I'm a sucker for whiskey glasses. I love collecting them, so it just had to be done, and I really love these ones. So with that out of the way, let's get right into the whiskey and see if we can answer that question and determine, well, from my point of view, and then you can let me know your views, is this a top 10-year-old whiskey? So before we get into it, if you happen to have a pour of this, bring a wee drop into your glass and we'll drink along together, because whiskey, after all, is always better shared. So we'll start off on the nose. Sláinte. Right off, what Arran is known for, big citrus hit there, coming right in on the arrival. It's very, very vibrant. And what I'm mostly getting here is a mix of oranges and lemons. And it grows in fragrance as well. It becomes a wee bit now more potpourri in nature, with some sweet honey and a wee subtle hint of vanilla in there too. But overall, what you get here on the nose is that fresh, vibrant vanilla. It's inviting, and even though it's not too complex on the nose, it just draws you in and makes you want to see what it tastes like. So that's where we'll go right now and see what we get in the palate. Cheers. As on the nose, right off again on the arrival, citrus, 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 citrus. Again, it's that mix of orange and lemons, but there's a nice wee pinch of cinnamon in there too, which adds not just a wee tingle of heat, but also adds an extra intensity to that flavour. And it's really nice first sip. Time for the second sip. Apple comes into play here now as well, and it's fresh. It's juicy. Like, it reminds me of a nice golden delicious apple. You can just bite in there and you get that refreshing juicy freshness. And now there's a light velvety vanilla. Just a wee bit of a burst of strawberry as well. And it all blends nicely together and complements those initial citrus flavours of orange and lemon. And then I'm getting a wee bit of like fondant icing coming in right on the back of the palate there, and it's a wee bit also the same on the mouthfeel. And just on that, the finish, more medium in nature, but all those lovely citrusy flavours are still there. You've got the oranges, you've got the lemons, you've got a bit of honey and the vanilla in there too. All those flavours that I've already mentioned. A wee burst of cinnamon, but it's very velvety, like a velvety effervescence on the palate, and it's really pleasing. So all in all, it ticks all the right boxes. An integrity whiskey, as Ralphie would say. So, is this a top 10 10-year-old whiskey? Well, for me, Yes, it is, because as I said, it ticks all the right boxes. It's whisky done right, and the more Arran I try, the more I get to like what they're producing there at the Lochranza distillery, and a job well done again. And in terms of a score, I think it's going to be an 89 from me. So now it's over to you folks. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the Arran 10 if you've had it. If you haven't had it, do you think based on this review you would like to give it a go? But also let me know what other 10-year-old whiskies, doesn't have to be Scotch, that you would recommend me to try and review and see if they come up to a standard that would be befitting of a top 10-year-old. With that all said and done, thanks once again for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. Welcome aboard to my new subscribers. It's great to have you on here so we can share our spiritual odysseys together, and I look forward to engaging more with you guys in the future. So all that remains to be said is keep on looking after yourselves, look after each other, and most importantly, keep on drinking your whiskey the way you like it. Sláinte.